Welcome back, and in today's video we are going to be going through setting up the model's OnlyFans account, which is an integral aspect of running an OnlyFans management agency because you can provide instant value to models simply by just improving their current account. So let's say you sign a model who's doing 3K a month, she's got a sloppy back-end operation. By properly setting up the model's OnlyFans account and running the account as it's supposed to be run, you can quite easily get that model from 3K all the way up to 8K, even 10K, depending on how bad she's running her OnlyFans account. So in this video, we're going to be walking through the complete guide to setting up a model's OnlyFans account so you can deliver results as an OnlyFans agency and, of course, make more money for yourself. Okay, so first off, before we get into the nuts and bolts of this presentation, I just want you to briefly imagine earning 50K per month, all from managing successful OnlyFans accounts. Now, this isn't just a dream. We've done it and you're next. It really is simple once you understand how to deliver results to OnlyFans models. If you can get an OnlyFans account up to 100K a month and you just manage 50% and you take 50% rev share from that, that's 50K a month for you there. Now, it doesn't have to all be from one account. You can get 10 accounts up to 20K a month and you can be making this sort of money as well. In fact, you'll be making 100K per month from that. So the sky really is the limit with OnlyFans. It is the most in-demand service online. You know, it's never going away. Guys, lust is always an industry that you can sell to. So this is going to be how you can capitalize on that. So here's what we're going to cover in this video. First, we're going to cover the OnlyFans landscape. Second, we're going to go through a step-by-step account setup. Next, we're going to talk about posting on OnlyFans. Then we're going to be talking about generating money within the OnlyFans account. And then finally, we're going to be talking about chatting inside the OnlyFans account. Okay. So first, let's go over the OnlyFans landscape. So while OnlyFans is designed to be user-friendly, leveraging certain best practices can truly set your model's profile apart. Now, to fully unlock the platform's potential and stand out in a competitive space, you want to follow the comprehensive tips outlined in this presentation. Okay, you want to make sure that you implement what we're going to be discussing within this presentation, because I've been doing this for over 4 years. There is no other way to do this. This is the way if you want to have a successful OnlyFans account for your model. So setting up your model's OnlyFans account the right way from the get-go is vital as OnlyFans agency owners. It's the difference between an underperforming OnlyFans account, no matter how much traffic you acquire for that model, versus an OnlyFans account that consistently pulls in 6 figures a month or consistently generates 5 figures a month, and you can do that with very limited traffic. Okay. In fact, one of our consulting students for my main program, OnlyFans Millions, was able to generate 25K a month from just 47 subscribers within his model's account. So this is how you get the maximum revenue and the maximum earnings from very little subscribers. Okay. So step-by-step OnlyFans account setup. So the first step is the sign-up process. So obviously you want to upload a display picture and an eye-catching banner image to represent your model's brand. So you want to make sure the display picture is nice and clear. It's got the model as the main focal point. You can even have professional display picture, so the model's face or the model's body, and then a nice colorful black background. And you can also have a professional banner image as well. So you can use a tool like Canva, and within Canva you can type in banner and you can create a professional banner image for your model. Now I recommend going to other OnlyFans models, OnlyFans accounts, and you can take inspiration from the type of banner images and display pictures that they're using. Okay. 2 is to craft a compelling bio and choose a memorable display name. So you want to have a bio that is compelling. Obviously, that is going to be short form text that you're going to be using to sell to potential subscribers. So subscribers are going to read that and decide whether they want to subscribe to the model's OnlyFans account. And of course, you want the memorable display name. You don't want a forgettable one, because otherwise, let's say a subscriber checks out the model, is then going to forget about her, and maybe he decides that he wants to subscribe to her, a few days later. In that case, he may struggle finding the model if it's not a memorable display name. So you want to have something which is super memorable so you don't run into the risk of that happening. And finally, 3, you want to verify the model's bank information and age so you can enable payouts. And that's how you're going to collect the earnings from OnlyFans. Now, step 2 is the monetization setup. So you want to decide on your subscription price and set up enticing subscription bundles. So personally, what we do for bundles is 30% off for 3 months, 40% off for 6 months, and then 50% off for 1 year. So this is just it in case a subscriber wants to subscribe for a longer duration, they can do that and we can get more upfront money, okay? So they get incentives to subscribe for longer. And then also establish a welcome message that is sent automatically to new subscribers. And you can do this within the settings, and then you go to the chat within the settings, and then you can set up a welcome message so each new subscriber who joins receives this introductory message straight away on autopilot, okay? Now, next we have to optimize the profile, okay? So you want to link the model's social media accounts to boost the reach of the account. And also, if you've got some credible social medias which have a fair few followers, this is going to increase the perceived value or the perceived perception of the model, okay? Then you also want to create at least 10 engaging posts to make the profile appear active and appealing. So when a subscriber is contemplating, someone who's thinking about subscribing is contemplating about actually subscribing to the model's account, what they can see is they can see the number of posts on the account before they actually subscribe. So it's important that you make sure there are some posts there so you know that when they do subscribe, they are going to get instant value as a result of subscribing. And then 3 is to follow 10 top creators with free accounts. So this is, you want to make sure this is visible on the model's OnlyFans page so they can observe and learn from their strategies, and you can also do the same, all right? Now, 2 is key monetization tips. So while subscription revenue is very important, the majority, so over 80% of your earnings will likely come from pay-per-view content. So within the chatting, they'll have to pay to access the content, and that's where the bulk of your money is going to come from. So focus on keeping fans subscribed for as long as possible by delivering consistent and engaging content. And then for the welcome message, we have some best practices. So the welcome message is automatically sent to fans upon subscription, and you can use the welcome message to introduce your model's personality to the subscriber, highlight special content or offers that they can access, and then encourage interaction by inviting questions or requests. So you want to make sure that you're getting the subscriber to actively engage in the DMs, because through their engagement is where we can make the bulk of the money, okay? That's the main tip for chatting, is to make sure that you keep your subscribers as engaged as possible. So you could have a really big account which has, very little engagement, or you could have a very small account which has very high engagement. And by far, I would much prefer the smaller account with high engagement, because you're going to be making lots more money. It really is, engagement really is the name of the game with the model's OnlyFans account. Then, of course, you want to personalize it to make new fans feel valued and engaged as well. So, posting on OnlyFans. So, the first thing I want to talk about is frequency and quality. So, posting daily is a baseline for success on OnlyFans. Ideally, you should aim for 2 posts per day. Just make sure that you have regular updates to maintain your model's presence in your model subscribers' feed. So, ensuring they feel that they're getting consistent value from being subscribed to the account. Each post should reflect effort and quality so your fans feel that their subscription is worthwhile. You need to remember they're paying money monthly, so you need to make sure that it's worth it to them by making sure that they're getting value from just being subscribed to the account, okay? Also, you want to keep the visuals dynamic by shooting in different locations and wearing a variety of outfits as well. So stale or repetitive content can just lead to disengagement, which is what we want to avoid. So experiment with styles with your models, themes with your models, and settings to keep things interesting. You can also do really cool stuff. So you can have like little custom subscriber games, spin the wheel. All these sort of things are going to make it feel like a more interactive community, and it's going to improve the engagement, okay? Obviously, you want to make sure you keep it around the sexual theme. So if you're doing spin the wheel, it could be spin the wheel for a particular photo set that they'll receive. Okay, so they can pay $10 to spin the wheel, and there's a chance they get some really exclusive content, and there's also a chance that they get some basic content. Okay, you want to make sure that you structure the photo posts to include at least 2 to 6 images per post to provide a sense of completeness without overwhelming your audience as well. Okay, now we have content distribution. So strategically separating free and premium content is the key to success. So on the main feed, you want to focus on creating content that is alluring but not overly explicit. For example, upper body nudity or playful teasing videos work very well to spark curiosity without giving everything away. Okay, I see lots of people making this mistake where they just don't think about it from the subscriber's perspective. So you need to remember that when you're optimizing this account, you need to think, how does it appear from a subscriber in terms of, psychologically? When they actually click subscribe, are they getting the sort of content that they want to access straight away? Are you actually encouraging them to spend money inside of the account? So you want to make sure that you reserve full nudity and more revealing material for pay-per-view messages or personalized content. So this actually creates the incentive for subscribers to make these additional purchases. So by keeping the most exclusive material behind a paywall, you not only increase your revenue, but you also give fans a reason to engage more deeply with your content through DMs as well. All right. Now we have captions that convert. So captions are a very underutilized tool for connecting with your model's audience. An engaging caption can add depth to the model's posts, making them more shareable or tease exclusive content. So you can search online for inspiration using captions like flirty captions or sexy Instagram quotes. You can type this on Google and you're going to find many websites and creators that offer libraries of ideas. So it's important, even though I say that, it's important not to just copy and paste these captions, because originality goes a very long way. Fans are more likely to resonate with captions that reflect your model's unique personality. This connection can turn casual subscribers into loyal followers who are willing to spend more. So you also need to think about depth when it comes to nurturing the relationship between the model and between the subscribers. Okay, so for those of you out there who are a little bit more analytically minded, you can think of it in terms of depth level from 1 all the way to 10, okay? As soon as a subscriber subscribes, they're going to be probably on a depth level anywhere from 1 to 3, depending on the prior interactions that they've had before subscribing to the model, okay? Now, obviously, you may get some people who the model already knows in person, who have found her OnlyFans. In that case, the depth level is going to be a lot higher, and that's the reason that they're willing to spend lots more money, okay? So the way that you can increase this depth level is by having captions that really reflect and give an insider look into the model, okay? So showcasing the model's personality is integral because it's going to increase that depth level, because it's something that the subscribers can emotionally connect with, okay? So you need to make sure that you're putting lots of information out there, lots of interesting captions, lots of different viewpoints, so there's something that the subscriber can relate to increase that depth level, okay? Then we have building anticipation. So the posts should not only entertain, but they should also entice. So use the feed as a way to tease premium content. For instance, you can share a cropped or blurred preview of an exclusive photo set and encourage fans to check their messages for the full version. You can post short clips hinting at what's to come, directing fans to engage further through pay-per-view content or DMs. Okay, so you can use the wall feed as a way to build anticipation, so they check out the model's DMs, which is where you're actually going to be making the most of the money through these subscribers. Okay, so a strategic posting schedule combined with diverse, high-quality content and engaging captions ensures the OnlyFans page remains fresh and appealing. By prioritizing exclusive material for pay-per-view, you maximize your revenue potential while encouraging long-term subscriptions as well. All right. So now I want to talk about the types of posts for OnlyFans. So there is two types of posts that we have identified at my OnlyFans agency, okay? And we structure these posts in a very specific way to make sure we're maximizing revenue. So the first type of post is a primary post. So a primary post are posts which stand on their own. So this means that there's no ulterior motive to these posts other than the fact that you want fans to see them. So this could be, for example, sharing a photo set of the model in lingerie. It's just a primary post. There's no ulterior motive to it. It's got a nice caption to it, but it's just a post which you're not wanting it to lead to additional actions. And then we have secondary posts. So these posts are to encourage your fans to buy pay-per-view content or to tip you, okay? So for example, you say that the model's made a masturbation video, you post a teaser to the video to the feed with the caption, "I'm sending out the full video in my DM, so stay tuned." Or you can post a picture with the caption, "Tips get me wet, tip me and I'll show you how wet you've made me. Bigger tips get me wetter." Okay, so there's ulterior motives to these posts. Either you're going to be directing them to the DM section, so you can sell them content. You're asking them to check out the DMs so they can buy the content that you're basically teasing there, or you're wanting to collect tips. So the higher they tip you, the better content that you'll send to them. Okay, so they're kind of revenue focused posts. So now let's go over subscriptions. Okay, so subscriptions is a very important part of setting up the OnlyFans account, because if you set this wrong, you can very quickly turn what could potentially be a good account to a very bad account, okay? So personally, what we've found at my agency is that the subscription price should always be $6, okay? Assuming that you're starting with 0 social media presence. So do not question this price and never set discounts to this as well, okay? The strategy you're using is one where you aim to make money selling in the DMs, okay? Subscriptions should not be the bulk of the money coming in, okay? You wouldn't want to set a subscription price to $20 a month, because the barrier to entry is just going to be too high, and you're going to be deferring a lot of people who would potentially have been interested in subscribing for a lower tip, because you need to remember you're going to be making all the money from the chatting in the account anyway. So any fan who would subscribe at 50% less, but not at the original price, is likely cheap and wouldn't buy your content, okay? You do not want to attract cheap fans, as they're going to be time wasters, all right? You want to only focus on these high value fans. Also, if you have, a sizable social media presence for your model, so she has like 10K followers on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, for example, then you can set their subscription price to a little bit higher, so $9.99, okay? So a $6 subscription price is what we use with all our models who have made it in the top 1% on OnlyFans. So the big chunk of your money is to be made selling content in the DMs, so you don't want to deter fans with a high subscription price. You don't want to set a price too low either. Otherwise, you may come across these cheap accounts who just waste your time, and you spend lots of time chatting in the account for very little money to be made. So you can look at it, the $6 as the perfect medium between making sure that you don't have a bunch of time wasters coming into the account, so you're qualifying the subscriber, and then also not too high that you're potentially deterring potentially good subscribers who would be willing to spend more money inside of the chatting, rather than paying a massive subscription fee month after month, okay? Now we have pay-per-views. So PPV stands for pay-per-view, and these messages are the primary income stream for many OnlyFans creators, okay? Now these messages allow fans to purchase exclusive content directly, often at higher price points than subscription fees. So the key to success with PPV lies in creating a sense of value and urgency. So here's how to make the most out of this feature. Fans have 3 main motivations for purchasing pay-per-views, and if you can target all 3 of these motivations, then you're going to be selling a lot more pay-per-views. So the first motivation is attraction to the model's main feed content. So fans who enjoy the free or subscription-based content will be curious to see more exclusive material. Okay, so if they get turned on, looking at the main model's wall feed, then they're going to be curious to what the model looks like naked or some of the more explicit content. 2 is captivating captions. So intriguing, well-crafted captions pique curiosity and encourage clicks. So you need to remember that when you're sending these pay-per-views, they're not going to be able to see the content. The content is going to be behind a lock, which they need to pay in order to unlock the content, but they will be able to see the caption along with it. So the more intriguing, the more curiosity that you can pique in the caption itself, the more likely they are going to be to buy the message just out of curiosity, because they just want to figure out what the hell that content is. Okay. And then 3 is teasing previews. So a sexy or alluring preview image can be the tipping point for fans considering a purchase. Okay, so you can also send out these preview messages along with a free preview along with the pay-per-view content that you're sending out as well. Okay, so your captions should create anticipation and curiosity. So phrases like "this one will leave you breathless," or "you've never seen me like this before," or "I can't believe I did this," or "my neighbor caught me," or something, intriguing that invokes a lot of curiosity, can make fans eager to unlock the model's content. Okay? So while you can take inspiration from other creators, aim to write captions that reflect your model's unique personality and style for authenticity and better fan engagement. Okay? So let's say you got a model who's niched within the fitness niche. Okay, so on her Instagram, she creates a lot of videos of her doing squats, and you can see her ass in wearing leggings. And then within the pay-per-views that you're sending, you're going to want to keep it around the fitness scene. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that it's gym-focused content, because that's going to have just more authenticity to it, and fans are going to be much more willing to buy that particular bit of content rather than like a generic message like, "Will you help me fix my kanini?" Okay. Now, you want to send at least 3 to 5 pay-per-views daily. Okay. Obviously, if you've got a lot less subscribers, you don't want to be doing this sort of volume. But regular messages keep fans engaged and increase the likelihood of purchases. You also want to recycle content. So you can reuse content by changing the captions, making it appear like a fresh, unique piece of content. And you can keep track of fan purchases to avoid sending duplicates. There's particular softwares that you can use to do this, which is what we personally do on my OnlyFans agency. And sometimes if you make mistakes, what you can do is you can just send them a bit of content for free. So you can say, "Oh, sorry, didn't realize you already bought this piece of content. Let me send you a free bit of content." Okay. Now, in addition to that, you can also attach a preview and include a disclaimer. So please check the preview to ensure you don't buy this again. Or you can provide a description of the set in a little bit more detail. Okay. So we have the pricing guide for pay-per-views. Okay. So in general, this is the pricing guide. So for pictures, it's going to be between anywhere from $5 to $10. So you don't want to charge too much money for a generic picture. If you charge a lot more than that, people are going to be thinking that they're getting ripped off. Okay. And then for videos, you can charge it anywhere from $10 all the way up to $50. Okay. And it depends on how explicit the content is. Okay. So if it's just a simple video of the model playing with her tits, then you can charge a lot less than you would for a video of her riding a dildo. Okay. So you can use this as a general pricing guide for when you're sending out content. This is what we give to our virtual assistants, our chatters within the account, so they know how to price each bit of content that they are going to send out to the model subscribers. Okay. So now we have chatting. Okay. So chatting is where the majority of the money is going to be coming from. You need to make sure that you're building deep, intimate connections with these model subscribers. Okay. The deeper the connection is, the more that they're going to keep on coming back, and the more money they're going to spend within the OnlyFans account as well. There is a direct correlation between how connected they feel to the model and how much money that they're willing to spend. Okay, so as you can see on the left, these were purchases made by one subscriber. Okay, purchasing, content for $200, $200, $169, $120, $89, $69. And the reason that they're purchasing content at this price point isn't for the content itself. It's because of the connection that they got with the model. They want to impress the model with how much money they've got. They just want to throw money at the model so they get more connection, more attention, and they have a deeper connection with the model. Okay, so the first step is establishing a positive persona. So you always want to maintain a fun, interested, and approachable demeanor in interactions. However, if a fan expresses specific preferences like role play dominance, then of course you want to adapt it accordingly. If they're talking to a dominatrix, which is a dominant woman, they're not typically going to want the model to be fun, interesting, and approachable. They're going to want to role play in that particular chatting angle. Okay. So, but in general, you want to make sure that it's a nice place that they can go to. They can just message the model. Okay, you don't want to be using too many guilt trips and stuff like that, because it's just going to damage the interactions that they're having with the model, and they're just going to be less likely to come back. Okay, it should be their happy place. 2 is prioritize a professional mindset. So while it's essential to build rapport, you need to remember that the goal is to sustain and grow your business. So keep interactions aligned with your revenue goals. So don't be ashamed to send out content for money, okay? The whole purpose of you talking to them is to make money. And they understand this because the platform is OnlyFans. They understand that talking to models, they're going to have to pay a lot of money to do that, okay? So don't be afraid to send out content because you need to make sure that you're running it like a business. 3 is to engage personally. So show interest in their lives by asking about their hobbies, their interest, or personal details, their job, their family. Obviously, tailor responses based on their answers to create a deeper connection. So let's say their job is a lawyer. You can ask them, how was your day, Mr. Big Shot Lawyer? Something like that, okay? You want to make sure that you're creating notes on each of these subscribers. And within OnlyFans, there's a built-in note section so that each virtual assistant or chatter that goes to speak to the subscriber can briefly overview the notes. They can see the subscriber's age, interest, hobbies, job, personal details, and they can ask questions based on that, and they can keep the interaction going without having to, repeatedly asking questions. Like, the worst thing you could do is ask for someone's job, they tell you their job, and then, a week later you ask, what was your job again? It just is going to be, they're just going to spend instantly less money on the model's account because they're not feeling heard, they're not feeling understood, they don't feel like the model really cares, okay? 4 is to leverage personalization. So you can get the model to create voice notes and selfie videos that include their name. Okay, so every now and then we'll get the model to either do live streams in the account because they can interact with a bunch of subscribers at once on a personalized level. We also get them to send out voice notes every now and then as well. So they just go through all their top spenders and send some voice notes to them, or even future top spenders, so people who have got a good job but they just haven't spent that much money yet. And then also selfie videos as well. Just the more personal it feels, the more likely they are to spend more money. And then as well, in addition to that, you want to compliment and affirm. So request selfies from them or personal updates and respond enthusiastically. Compliment their appearance or interest to build trust and loyalty. So, if they're just chatting to you and you haven't actually seen their face, and you're saying, I really like you or not, they're not going to feel like it's genuine because you haven't seen them. So why would they feel like it's genuine? As far as they're concerned, they could just be some random person just messaging, okay? So by asking for a picture of them, you can say, you look really cute, or you look so handsome, stuff like that. Then it's going to make them feel more heard, and it's going to feel like the attention is actually on them and not just on some random person messaging, okay? So these are the tips for creating and managing a successful OnlyFans account. Now, obviously, this just scrapes the surface of information I have to share on this topic, okay? We have over 10 hours of content within my OnlyFans Millions program where we walk in through the exact strategies, the exact nuances, live walkthroughs of all of this. Okay, so I do recommend joining the OnlyFans Millions program if you haven't already. But regardless, I hope you got some value from this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.